What is up, everybody? Circon here bringing you guys another video. It's going to be a really simple and straightforward one, but one that I get asked about a lot. And I'm going to go over the settings that I use. So I'm just in a training room right now just to show you guys. So let's get into it real quick, because it's going to be fairly straightforward, right? This is all whatever is the text. Encounter and Assault. I usually have Assault off, and Encounter I turn sometimes on just to have some variation. Assault is viable to do if you're playing like light things in TDs. You'll seem to have an easier time. You know, if you're in the defending side as a TD, or the attacking side as a scout, or even in the defending time as a scout, it makes some certain missions easier to do. Now this is just a garage. It's whatever. I have 2 levels because I have a billion tanks in my garage. Show vehicle tiers on. Show postmortem. Whoever killed me, I'll see it in postmortem mode. Dynamic cameras on, horizontal stabilization in sniper mode. You want to have that on as well. Now there's the enable times 16 and 25 for the scope. So if you go into sniper mode, it's times 2, and if you zoom all the way in, it's times 8, and then 4. So it's 2, 4, 8. Now you could have the other settings for 16 and 25. So you go even further. The reason I don't have this on is because obviously you see less and less of the battlefield, and the tunnel vision becomes very real in this mode. And the other thing that really annoys me is that actually I feel like I'm way less accurate with this, because if you shoot like this, obviously this guy is fairly accurate, the Leo one, the dispersion, everything, all those values become so obvious that it actually just annoys me. So I usually turn it off for the reason of, having to deal with like the RGs but that much, but also I think times 8 is perfectly fine while still having a lot of view across the battlefield, right? So I have that on as well. So I don't turn this on. Restrict toggle mode, the shift key is like personal reference. I use shift key anyway, but I also use the mouse at some point. Like it's just off. Now, Surfer Reticle, that's the one that I have a mod for. Usually you only have the green rounded reticle and not the blue thing. The blue thing is a Surfer Reticle overlay. And as you can see, if I go around, especially around buildings and such, you can see that where I'm aiming and where the server thinks I'm aiming, which is the blue circle, is lagging behind, right? And this is especially true of, see if I can show it here. If you go around buildings, there's some lag behind it. Now, we don't have a lot of ping. I only have like 15 to 40-ish ping. But the higher ping you have, the more delayed that is. You use my mod pack if you want that. Otherwise, this circle, the green one, is going to be the blue one. And as you can see, it's fairly laggy. And it's really annoying, at least I think so, to shoot with. So the stock server reticle for me is really, really annoying. And it's not a smooth gameplay. So download my mod pack if you want that. That's a really nice one. Now this is like whatever display camera direction beam minimap, that's on. Expanded minimap features is always on. Tips on the battlefield, like if you load in, you might want to just look at the minimap right away. It's way easy. You can see where you spawn, make your decisions ahead of time. Now for graphics, let me stop the tank because it's making a lot of noise. Graphics wise, I'm playing the windowed mode just because of OBS and I'm streaming the game, and yes, there is a windowed borderless, but it doesn't work so well. That's why my window size is a bit awkward, because I have that bar, or for you guys it's below here, which I make use of because now there's my Twitter, YouTube, stuff like that. Vertical synchronization is not on for me. Triple buffering is off. Anti-aliasing, I mean, I'm using the highest one. This is also like whatever your PC can handle. My field of view is always 100% 120. I just always played like this. I never played otherwise. Dynamic FOV is off. I do play in colorblind mode. It's another question I get asked a lot. Why is the enemy in purple? As you can see, the base is also in purple. That's because of colorblind mode. It's not because I'm colorblind, but I have some viewers that are, and I know that colorblindness is in a lot of variations, stuff like that, but it does help out a couple of people, and I'd rather help a couple of people than help no one at all in that case. I played for the longest time on the deep filter, which doesn't do much but put like a blue tint on everything, basically. I actually turned that off because I felt for especially replay casts and stuff like that, I just like to have it off. There's a lot of things there. They don't do anything with gameplay. You can just go like all kinds of weird colors, but for nowadays, that is off for me. 3D render resolution is 100% for me as well. Dynamic adjustment is off. Again, that kind of depends on your PC. If you have a decent PC, you can probably run with my settings. So. Texture quality you want on maximum. That's because some of the corners on like rubble, such as this and stuff like that, is really poorly rendered in. So you want to have that as high as possible, if not just maximum. for these kind of shots, like these peeking shots. There's some weird glitches here with this kind of rubble. Lightning qualities, whatever. Shallow qualities, whatever. Straight out quality, you can pretty much turn off if you're going to gain a lot of, if you want to gain a lot of, FPS. Grass is sniper mode. I should actually turn that off. I don't know why that's on. And then extra effects is all the way off. Flora density is all the way down. You don't really need it. It's just annoying. Post processing is on maximum, and then this is all maximum. And motion blur is off because I fucking hate motion blur. Draw distance is another one you want to have as high as possible. Terrain quality is another one that turns the rubble. Has to do with this rubble bullshit being in the way and not rendering properly. So terrain quality and draw distance are the ones you want to have high. I think also the object LOD is pretty important to have as high as possible. Water decals, motion blur off, foliage doesn't matter at all. That's up to you guys. Foliage transparency though, that's a good one to have because then you can, the foliage becomes transparent. That makes it easier to shoot people in the face. Pretty easy, right? So don't forget draw distance, terrain, and object LOD is the ones you want. Enable track traces is like whatever. Dynamic changes of effects is because, if you have a shitty FPC, you can use that as well. Then off the sound. I always have my music off because it's super hella annoying. I sometimes turn ambience off because some of the special garages, are really annoying. I use the headphones mode because I use headphones. I always use the normal variation. The second variation is really bad. You can barely hear it, and you can also make your own, which I haven't. I use standard voices because if you use the commander voices and you play as French tank, you don't know what the fuck he's saying unless you speak French, which I don't. Voice chat is a fucking joke, so don't ever use it. The stop and fire here is off because I have my handbrake on the spacebar instead of stop and fire on spacebar. Everything else is stuck as hell. This is my sensitivity at about 1500 DPM. DPI, sorry, not DPM. And then this is all off. Now for the reticle, it's another thing you guys always ask for. This is off the indicator. It just makes some weird blurry shit happen. Or no, well, not really. That's like the indicator sideways and stuff like that. But I like the clean look of absolutely nothing. Then we use the central marker aim point 1, which is the thing in the middle. I don't know why would I want anything else in the dot, but maybe that's because of my FPS settings. I usually use that as well. In first-person shooters, I just use a dot if I can. Everything is at 90, so they're kind of transparent a little bit. The aiming reticle is the big one that people always want to see, and that's the latest one. They introduced this one a couple of patches ago. It's a solid one. It's not a mod or anything. Then here I'll have 8.1 with the armor pen indicator as well, and then that's at 100, and then this is all at 90. Now, for some reason, I don't know why, there's also a different mode for sniper, but that's exactly the same as my arcade, as they call it, reticle. So that's exactly the same. I don't know why you would want a different one. I don't really see the use. It's distracting. So it's exactly the same. So yeah, you can just copy that. That's not a mod or anything. Now for the markers, it's just a vehicle model. So what the fuck tank am I playing against? And the health indicator with HP left in total. You're a fucking idiot if you ask me if you use percentage, because that's the dumbest thing I've seen is people play with percentage. It just triggers me to no end. And you also see the damage received is worse. The alternative one is to check for player names and stuff like that. I usually really don't care what the fuck people's name is. I'm smart enough to know what tanks are the tiers, so you can add these if you want. It's just more clutter. So it's what am I fighting? How much health does he have? And how much health does he have in total? How much health? Health total also helps because that helps you recognize stock tanks. If they have stock turrets, they tend to have less health. So that's another one. So these are the settings there. And the only thing that you use in the alternative is the player's name if you want to check for the player's name in tier. Like if I'm really like, oh, what the fuck is that shit? I can just press Alt and I can see the tier and the name of the player. Our team, it's vehicle model, health indicator. It's pretty much the same as in the enemy team. So that doesn't get cluttered either. Here I actually have like health like this is like whatever, right? This is like he's dead. So this is literally whatever to me. So I guess I should just do health indicator and health left total, stuff like that. It really doesn't matter. So like once they're dead, they're dead. I'm not gonna check back in on them. Now for all of this stuff, I'm really not a fan actually of the fire indicator. I wish it wasn't in the game. but a lot of people used it as a mod anyway, and now I'm using it because everybody else is, right? So I use advanced, I use display and battle, I use everything. Then the amount of battle and dynamic indicators, I have no fucking clue what the fuck this is. And an animation, display animation, like, fuck that, we don't need it. And then vehicle info, that's why would you not want to know who the fuck shoots you. Battle events, everything is almost on except for capture point reset, base capture points. You can turn this on as well if you want to get for those medals and stuff. Damage after you're stunned, blah blah blah. You can turn it on for artillery, that's fine. The log, everything is on display always. Damage received, precision events, like this is all on. You can just copy paste this. Like, I didn't really mess around with this too much. It's just handy. That's the way I play. So that's all the settings. That's about it. Really, there's nothing really more to talk about. The other thing that I have is the zoom out mod, which is about, I don't know, a third or fourth better than the usual one. And that and the server reticle is the only mods I use. If you want the mods that are up to date, because this video will maybe not be updated every once in a while, because I'll likely use the same settings from here until eternity, you can, you know, check the link that's in the Twitch description. I'll put this video in the Twitch description as well, so if people want to see my settings and how I, you know, play the game, that's how it is. Those are all the settings. You know, take screenshots to make your life easier if you want to copy the settings. And this game is almost over, so I'm gonna peace out. And I'll catch you guys later. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Hopefully, you know, this kind of video is useful to you guys. If it is, you know, maybe drop a like, maybe subscribe for more videos. And, yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Peace!